integrated location analytics. The location analytics helps you to find out who all are coming into your network, what all their statistics and demographics are. You've got ecosystem partners who even help you with developing applications that can be built on top of what APIs that we provide to the ecosystem partners. I'll give you a quick example, and then we quickly jump to the Merathi dashboard demo. Next generation analytics. Now our APs that I was sharing previously, indoor ones, we've got 4 radios. We've got 2.4 gigahertz, we've got 5 gigahertz, air marshal, and Bluetooth. Now Bluetooth is something which is becoming very, very common because of the monopod, the selfie sticks, as you may see, or the health devices, the heart monitor or Fitbit kind of device that captures your heart rate and pulse and those things. So Bluetooth is becoming very, very important in today's world. Merathi MR32 and MR72, 2 models which are for you, it is very easy to figure out where my devices are. Let's say that we are visited in a hospital, an important toolbox, it could be an important ladder in a hotel. Those things are something which are very easy to be tracked once you have a Bluetooth capability in your wireless network. So this is one of the use cases. Merathi Beacon helps to improve the customer experience. So what the customer is doing is they actually place an order using their application on the smart device. Once they place an order and order their foods or their items, when the customer enters into the store, the restaurant application would develop to the access point that, oh, this is the customer who placed an order for, let's say, pizza or burger. While the customer has arrived, the salesman, the order is prepped, and then the customer doesn't have to wait in the line. The boxes are delivered, the food item that the person to the client order is straight away given to the customer. So there's no waiting or no line. These are few of our customers. It's a wide variety of customers that we have to the industries, be it enterprise, higher education, retail, healthcare, government, industry, industrial, K-12 is education from kindergarten to primary 12, and then hospitality. I'm sure there are a lot of names which are familiar to you. You might be from these companies in APJC, or you may have a similar line of business with one of these customers that are already utilizing or using the power of the Merathi. So with this, that's the last part. Let's witness from the live demo how we can actually move from a plain vanilla wireless LAN that, for example, Starbucks gives you. Assume that people are buying my expensive coffee or brand new coffee because we provide a wireless LAN. So we're actually moving from extreme leftmost corner from pure vanilla conduit of wireless internet connectivity back to the cloud to the right side, which is on the engaged side. So while we have capabilities from just providing wireless LAN, we can detect the customer, where they are, how they are, and at any given point in time, connect to them, push the notification over Bluetooth, push the notification because we are able to detect what is their dwelling time, what is their loyalty pattern, and then pretty much engage them. So with this, I will move to my dashboard to show you how the dashboard looks like. So I just logged onto my dashboard. This is how the dashboard comes up. First thing first, when you log in, so you go to dashboard.merathi.com. It gives you an option to log in, and this is the first page that you would see. So in your case, when you are a Merathi client, you will have your own dashboard. You will get to see your network. So if the few folks who join in the WebEx in the webinar in the beginning, I showed the 80,000 active networks. These are the network that I was talking about. Every dot here represents a network of 4 devices and higher, and these are those networks that are spread across the region. We have a huge scope of improvement, or we have huge potential of getting the similar number of dots that we see over North America and Europe. Asia, we are pretty new, and then we are growing exponentially. So let me give you an example of Meraki Corp. Meraki Corp is one of our own network. I could actually take an example from education, MIT University, AVNISD, Albany State University, or I can actually go to hospitality, taking an example for Motel 6. Let me just try to spread, because the customers who are joining the webinar today are mixed from different industries. So I'll try to touch on few important aspects from hospitality. I can also touch few things from service provider side also. So let me just open a few dashboards at the back. First thing first, let's go and see how the Meraki Corp looks like, or how your network would look like when you deploy from Meraki. Depending upon what all the appliances that you have in your network, you could have wireless. That's the basic one to start with. Switching, security firewall, and MDM, the mobile device management. The first page, when you click onto your network, this is how it looks like. It gives you an overview of all the clients in your network. Be it wired, I'm sure it's a very familiar interface. It shows a password or an RJ45 connection. And if there are devices which are on wireless, you get to see a different kind of logo, which is this representation. So these are the mix of devices that are there in the network. We have the flexibility to see what all applications are running in my network. Yeah, so we've got a flexibility to see what all applications are running in the network. So if you see, there's a lot of Google video being used. There is a lot of Netflix also being used, YouTube also being used, Dailymotion, Hulu, wow, so a lot of video traffic. Now, depending upon your corporate policy, you can turn off or you can apply rules based on application, you can apply rules based on the group of people. So let's get into a little bit more detail to find out what is happening in the network. The search is super convenient. If I were to find out, let's say, how many Apple devices are there, all I just do is start typing Apple here and all the Apple devices comes up. I can actually search on any of the parameters and it will come up. Now, on the first page itself, you see I got status, which are online and offline devices. What is their description, last seen, what is the bandwidth usage or the data usage that these guys have done, what is their IP addresses, and where exactly they are connected to. Now, these devices are switches in few cases because it's a wired one, and these devices could be an access point if it is over the wireless. So we can click on that, but before I do that, let's try to click this magic button and find out what all can we see. I want to find out the manufacturer. I click on this and it starts showing me all the manufacturers. Intel, Cisco, HP, VMware, Meraki, all these devices. So I can actually find out what all these devices. I can actually find out what are the MAC address of these devices, right? So I can actually see the MAC address of these devices also showing up. I want to find out if these guys, when was these guys first time seen? So I can actually click on this and also it tells me when were these guys first seen on the network. And pretty much I can find out OS and these are the list of items that I have and what SSID they were being connected on to last time. So I have OS information. If it is Intel, is it running Windows 8 or maybe it's running Linux? If it is Cisco, what is it running on? So I get all these information from a single snapshot itself. While I'm also seeing what is the traffic pattern, how is the bandwidth being utilized by different applications. Now, let's say if I want to find out Apple, as I was telling, I get to see all my Apple devices. If I want to find out Apple, but devices which are wireless, which are wireless, I click on this and it shows me all the Apple devices which are on wireless. So let's say I take an example of this person, Livermont. Livermont has an IP address so I'm not sure if it is he or she. Person is connected onto this access point, and we'll click on it and find out more details. But this is the MAC address. This is the SSID the person is connected onto. So let's double click on Livermont and find out what are the status things. Where is this person on the network? So if you see, this person was last seen on June 30th, 2 days ago. I can actually on the floor plan see where exactly this person is located. Is this person online or offline?
Oh, wow.
The other mechanism I could do is I can actually ping this person to find out if this person's machine or device is responding back or not. So while my ping response says 0 loss rate, wow, so this person is active. What is the latency? 42 milliseconds. So this person is definitely active in the network at this point in time. What are the applications used by this person? We get to see there's an IP address, turner.com, Google HTTPS, Google videos, there are a lot of traffic that are being shown. There are a few websites which are blurred out, and this is because of our own Cisco internal policy. We do not share or we do not expose employees' personal websites for privacy reasons. Having said this, if you are an administrator, if it is a hotel environment, if it is your own, so as a customer, you can decide what policy you would want. You can actually capture which all users go to which all websites and how much time do they spend, etc., in a report form. So I know this person has spent 7 hours on Facebook. I know that on Google Video, this person spent almost 4.4 hours in in the network. So there are a lot of different applications this person is using. If I like or if I do not like that, okay, this person is spending too much time on Facebook, not a good thing to do, I can actually block this person and I can say, please look for HR or go to payroll or talk to your manager because you are spending too much time on Facebook. Once this is submitted and once I save this, the next time or while even because this person is online at the moment, all of a sudden the network connectivity for this person will stop and he would get this message as a pop-up. Now, once I know that, okay, this person, okay, so could be another scenario. Livinmart says, I've got some issue with my network connectivity. Now, it could be a hotel environment when the guest calls up and says, I'm not able to do browsing. Well, I can, so as a network administrator or as a technology person supporting your customer, you can find out where exactly you are in the network. But more importantly is while you have done a ping, you don't have to ask the person what is the IP address. Now, in this case, I see that it's a Mac OS, but it could have been an iPad or it could have been an Android tablet. So in those cases, it is very hard for you to find, ask your customer to put a LAN cable or to give you an IP address. On this dashboard itself, you know exactly the person Livinmart is connected on 11 AC. So the device that this person has is pretty latest, and these are the details of the channel. So the person is connected on almost a gig speed. There are 3 special streams that are happening. The guy is connected on wave 1 11 AC. So connectivity fine is fine. I'm able to ping this device, but still this person is complaining there is an issue with his browsing. Now the next subsequent step would be, let me find out who all other devices are connected onto the same point. Probably that will help me to get a little bit more clarity that, okay, maybe the physical layer or the IP layer is fine. The guy, I'm able to ping all that stuff, but then is this network or are there other clients on the same access points which are facing a similar problem or not? So before I switch to the AP, just wanted to show you because there is a systems manager running on this device, Livinmart. We actually have a visibility onto what all applications are running on his Mac system. So WebEx Training Center, Firefox, Gmail, Google. Now, if there is something which is non-compliant, let's say Trojan, or if I say some security, yeah, I don't see those applications, but the reason I'm showing iTunes, okay? So I know that this person has got iTunes. So those things are something which can be captured because I have a systems manager capability to find out what this device is doing. And it gives me a list of all the applications running in this device. What is the serial number for the device? What is the RAM? Where exactly it is there on the network. So this is where the location is. Last time we saw. And here we have capability to lock the device, erase the device, or selectively wipe. Now, because this is the production network, I do not see these highlighted, but I can definitely do it as an administrator, get into more details, and can even take a remote desktop for the device to find out, okay, what's running in case if I were to do troubleshooting. So all these capabilities from an MDM standpoint, mobile device management I can actually take a screenshot, I can do remote desktop control, I can do a power control, I can remotely shut down the device. And of course, if I don't want to do that intrusive stuff, I can just simply send a message that, hey, please call me back, or I've lost this device, can you return it back, before you actually take a extreme step of remote wiping it. So coming back to the device, yes, so the problem still persists. Mark said I'm facing a problem on my network or my internet connectivity. I can go to topology. The topology view will tell me where exactly this device is. So if you see, let me just kind of pick the name first and share with you. So the access point, Mark, which is online at the moment, it's connected is C10 4C68. So when I click on the topology, I will get to see that this device is active, and this device is exactly same C10 4C60. On this AP, which is MR32 model, there are 15 other clients connected. Hooray! So solving the problem is quite straightforward. Now, if I were to troubleshoot further, I've got 14 other devices in the network whom I can check from if the connectivity or if the internet is up and running or not. Now, one more additional stuff, because I have got the complete topology view, if it is a remote setup, or even if it is my local setup, I don't need to run around other networks to figure out where exactly the problem. I know that this is the device and this is the AP. So if I were to do troubleshooting, I will go to this AP, connect to a switch, which is this one. Let me just open it. I click this device and it's going to open at the back end. And I can click on this to find out other clients that are connected onto this AP. Subsequently, there is a fiber aggregator switch from Cisco Meraki, and then this is connected to some device, and then eventually it is connected to our firewall. There are, so any devices in the network which are non-Meraki devices, if they broadcast or if they support LLDP and Cisco Discovery Protocol CDP, we will be able to get the statistics of the device. Here I get to see that there is a device which is Cisco Catalyst switch. So at least it gives me a view. While I click on, so let's come back to the troubleshooting part. So this device which was creating some problem or not getting internet connectivity, I know exactly where they are on the network. I know that there are a couple of other devices or other clients which are associated to the same AP. So I can actually ping the other devices to find out if they are having a similar problem or not. While this is happening, I can also see if sales leaders board Mini or Elizabeth are also facing the similar problem or not. What additionally I can do is I can do a trace route. I can do google.com, or I can say, let's say maybe cnn.com, to find out from this AP, am I able to reach the internet? What is the throughput that I have from this AP to the external world? So I'm actually doing a test of throughput from the access point back into Meraki to see is the connectivity all good or not. So the system shows me, very clearly that okay, the connectivity from the AP to Cisco Meraki is around 10 Mbps. The trace route that we had run in the backend to CNN.com or Cisco.com, those trace routes are also giving me results. So which means the connectivity definitely is there from this AP to the internet. I can do a blink LED, great feature if you were to send a slightly lower end technician to replace an access point or to move an access point location from location A to location B from a better coverage standpoint. You can just say blink LED and the light on the AP starts blinking, so the low end technician know, okay, I need to move this AP from location this to location whatever the new location could be. I get to see the channel utilization. So let me just stop this. Blink LED. So channel utilization shows me there are more devices which are on 2.4 gigahertz rather than 5 gigahertz, and this is the access points usage at this point in time. What is the AP's utilization? How heavily it is utilized? It's around the night time in US, so of course we are not seeing that high load. But again,
this is the AP that we have troubleshooted, or we have actually figured out the other devices in the network are not, or the other clients that are associated to this AP are not creating similar problem or not reporting similar problem. Go back to this topology, and then from the AP, next thing that you would troubleshoot logically would be to come back to the next switch. So you click on the switch. When you click onto the switch, you get the GUI interface of the switch itself. As I was sharing, we have the full application visibility. We've got the network usage report all here. We can actually see which all ports are active at the moment. While I can do a ping to Google or ping to whichever remote site, I would want to test if the cables are okay or not. Let me just do a random test. It's night time, so I'll take a risk for 10/100 ports. 1 gig port, you can run the cable test anytime, no problem. So let me run a test from cable port number 25. I'm deliberately picking up ports which are offline, and let me go all the way to, let's say, 51 to 51. I'm going to run the cable test. The switch has got capability to not only report various applications and the usage, it also has got a built-in feature to tell you if there are, what is the length of the cable. If the cable length is okay, all good, let's say 57 meters. If there are failures, it even reports the twisted pair is broken, the cable length at which the cable is broken is 61 meters versus if the cable itself is bad. So these statistics are something which helps us to figure out where could be the problem. We can power cycle the ports. If there are PoE devices connected, you can actually do that. You can do that. Blink LED functionality is pretty much similar to what we saw on the AP side. The switches do the same thing. Throughput, again, from the switch, we can find out what is the connectivity from switch back to the Meraki cloud, where the dashboard we are seeing all these devices. And ping, we've got multiple devices that we can ping. You can actually pick the IP address that we saw for the client to find out if there is a response time received or not. Okay. Again, maybe this setup is okay. We can actually move further and find out what is happening at this switch level, and all the way to firewall. To keep it very simple, because this is our first introduction to networking, cloud networking, we're gonna go to the client side again back here. If we have, so because this is our Cisco Meraki owned network, I know most of the printers that we use are BROTHER. The moment I say brother, I get to see all the printers in the network at various different floors, level 4 floor, level 5 floor. These are their IP addresses, how much data they've used, and these are various printers. I can actually show you how, because it's not showing the manufacturer. Let me get the manufacturer information here. Yeah, so the moment I click the manufacturer, it says Brother Industrial. I can search for the manufacturer also. So it's a very cool way of searching with devices in the network. Now, while we were doing all these checks and usages, we have a mechanism to go last 2 hours, last 1 day, last 1 month. We can go as back as last 6 months to figure out what's happening in the network. Okay, so let's see a couple of cool features. If I were to do a location heat map to figure out what is happening and what is the trending of various people in the network, I can actually go to the location heat map. That's the connected mobile experience functionality. You need not be associated to the AP. When we walk into various malls, various hotels, not necessarily that we will have the username and password to associate ourselves. So if I were to take a random example, I'll just go back March, and let's say maybe pick up March 11, and this shows me how the connectivity of APs have been. So the green ones are the access points that are connected. And the blue dots represent the devices which are connected or associated to the access point. The gray dot means these are the devices which are there in the network but not necessarily associated. So this could be visited. If I were to look at the trending, now this is again US time zone, so we would see pretty much around 9 a.m. in the morning, we'll see a lot of people walking in. So this area that you see is our attack area. So which is why you see a red dot even in the night time. But if you see through the day, there are a lot of people who starts walking in around 9 a.m., 12 a.m. The whole office is full of people. This is a very great functionality for a big shopping mall or an airport or your own enterprise to find out what is the trending of people, how long do people stay and when do they leave. So this will help you to, especially for a retailer, for you to find out if it is the women's section or the kids section or is it the electronics section in my shopping mall or in my mall. Where do I see the highest footfall? So these analytics are available natively from the cloud itself. There is no extra cost to it. It is built into the first license that you deploy. From the network wide, I can actually pull up a summary report. Now that I know that this is how the trending is, I want to figure out, or if I were to come up with a new application for my mall users or the guests who come to my network, I want to figure out how many people use different manufacturers. So I got a list. I got a list of distinct clients that has walked into my network, different SSIDs that I have, the top utilized access points, so which also gives me a fair idea. Okay, where do we see the maximum number of people walking in? So these are the APs that you see spread out, and it shows me there are almost 387 clients that associate to this AP versus the next one and subsequent. This also shows me the graph. If you see that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, generally the network utilization is not that high. We are at the moment looking at for a few weeks. I can actually go back to look at the last 1 month and update. The statistics would change. We will get to see the more utilization, and then we also would get to see the top client devices, the different manufacturers that are there in the network. So Apple devices contributes almost like 67% of the clientele that we have in the network. Intel, followed by Dropcam, VMware, various different operating systems that are there in our network. Now, iOS devices are those Apple iPhones and so those devices, but then Mac is the top utilized operating system in the network. Various different applications that contributes to the usage. The top definitely includes Google Video, CDN, which is Content Delivery Network. So these are different applications which are running in my network. In terms of inventory, what kind of devices do we have? Most of the devices are MR32s and MR18. So these are two different models of Cisco Meraki that are available in my summary report when I go to network and go to summary. I can actually email this report to find out what is my overall inventory. So this gives me a quick snapshot of what is happening in my network. We got 10 more minutes to go and a lot of stuff to cover. So let me just pay attention on a few of the important aspects. So this is the example of Motel 6 that I want to quickly show you. There are a lot of features which are natively built in. Let me just do this way. Okay, so let me give you an example of ANH. So Anaheim is one of the locations in California. I want to go and check out what's happening in that network. The reason why I've chosen Anaheim specifically is this is a random Motel 6 hotel, and most of the devices in the Motel 6, which is part of the Accor group, you get to see all the applications. So if you remember when I expanded the application tab in the case of Cisco, there were a few websites which are hidden, but in the case of Motel 6 as a corporate policy, they get to see everything. Netflix is the top utilized application. If you want to block it, we'll get to that and see how we can actually do that. Various different ports that are utilized, the content depending upon various different ports, TCP ports. If you go to in organization, you can pick up the inventory information. This is for, let's say, Motel 6 in Anaheim. There are a few features like billing payout that can be turned on. So if you go to organization, if you go to wireless, and then you can say prepaid card. So Anaheim or the Motel 6 have a concept. They give a free Wi-Fi to all the users up to a certain bandwidth. But if the bandwidth requirements are higher, they actually sell over-the-counter scratch cards. And this is you can actually create a batch. You can say, I want to create a batch for $5. You want to create 100. Sorry, you want to create 100 pieces. You want to specify what is the expiry date for those cards. Let's say July, or that's going to be too close. Let's say September 25th is when I would want these cards to expire, and you can create a batch. I will not do it now because this is my customer's network. But what I'm trying to show here is, let me just pick up a random date and show you how those prepaid cards looks like. So these are the cards which can be sold over the counter, or the retailer can actually sell it to their customers, or the service provider can sell it to their clients, and this would enable you to give higher bandwidth to your customers. So these are the pin numbers. Which can be given out as a print, and the people can actually scratch it and get this pin and then start using the internet. The denomination they chose was $2.99. They created 100 quantities. This is how it looks like. So there are few pins which are completely utilized because first time they were transacted on March, and it's being a lot of time. So probably this pin number is fully utilized. There are few pins which are never utilized or are not given out at the moment. This is a natively built application, so there is no additional costs required for you to invest in. Again, it is cloud managed. Coming to the client side, let me just take my own example. If I were to show you, this is my home network here in Singapore. You can actually turn on these SSIDs. So SSID is basically what you turn on. We support 16 SSIDs at any given point in time. Recommend you to enable 4. So these SSIDs are something which can be created. So you can create a splash page or the captive portal. First time when you go to a hotel, when you go to the enterprise, you can create multiple accesses. So because we support multiple SSIDs, you can create a guest network and specify what rules you would want to do. You can put various logos that you would want, and you can put whatever messaging that you would want. Let's say if I put some messaging like this, and I want to see the preview, how it looks like, it's going to show up, okay, this is the message, and this is my SSID at home. How often this splash page should come up, or if you were to redirect this to an external web portal, maybe you want to play a 5 seconds or a 10 seconds video before the internet access is allowed to the customer or your guests. That can be something which is possible. So you can actually give an external web server email address where the authentication will get redirected to. After the authentication, let's say if you specify every 1 hour or 2 hours, you would want this authentication to pop up. What is it that you would want the customer to or a guest to see? You can send them to a different URL. Let's say if I want, after the authentication, I want everybody to go to bbc.com. So they will be redirected here, or otherwise they will go to the website they were trying to fetch. Again, on the access control side, which is very, very important, we are only looking at the wireless features. So let's say I want to, the standard features like MAC-based control, the Web2, or the open encryption is something which we can do. The other mechanism which are very special about Cisco Meraki is because we support sign-on based on the local authentication, which can be built into Cisco Meraki. We can integrate with Radius server, or we can even do Facebook login. So when you do Facebook login, people can actually use or a Google or a Twitter login, where they can actually use their Facebook login user and password authentication, and once they are authenticated, they can actually get the access onto the network. You can use based on SMS. So we allow 25 free text messages, but more than that, you have to actually integrate with the SMS gateway. But up till 25 text, we support natively from the cloud itself. The other option could be a billing option. Now, without having to invest or without having to do a heavy lifting, you can just turn on billing option. You can specify. I'm skipping through the non-critical features at the moment, but there are again flexibility, like while the authentication is done, and you can specify wall garden, and you can specify various websites that you would want the access to be enabled. Coming back to the billing side, you can turn on billing, and you can specify, I want to give free internet access to whoever comes into my network for, let's say, 20 minutes or 40 minutes or 60 minutes. So through the day, anybody who comes into my house, I'm going to give 60 minutes of free access at 1 Mbps speed. But if there is somebody who wants higher speed, I'll just make up a number. For, let's say, for 10 baht or 10 pesos or $10, I want to give 1 day access with, let's say, 2 meg. If somebody gives 100 of that same denomination, I can give a week access for, let's say, 5 meg. But if somebody gives, let's say, 1,000 baht or maybe $1,000, could be anything, I'll give 30 days access unlimited. So all these options, there are no limit to it, and you can continue specifying that. While the access is given, what is important is I want to do a traffic shaping at the RF level itself, which is super essential. The rules on the firewall can be layer 3. If we are intelligent, we know the TCP UDP port, we specify the destination, that's something which is one mechanism. Otherwise, we can actually use the standard mechanism where we can use the inbuilt grouping available. So peer-to-peer traffic includes all of it. You can actually deny these traffics. You can say all my video traffic could be any of these, or you can specify only Netflix. Those traffics are denied. I can actually do per client bandwidth. Let's say if I've got 100 meg connection from my switch or from my to my AP, I do not want my clients to be bombarding or creating a problem for other devices which are connected onto the network. So you can specify 1 Mbps speed for all the clients. You can specify different SSIDs, and you can do a traffic shaping. So herein, what I've done is I've actually specified the VoIP traffic. I want higher quality of service. So for higher quality of service, I've actually given voice priority to it. I've actually specified, I can specify higher bandwidth also. For traffic which is non-essential, the because and peer-to-peer traffic, gaming traffic, what we can do is because it could be a hotel environment where you cannot really stop people to go to the gaming sites or to Netflix site, we can specify a lower bandwidth, let's say 500 kbps or maybe 200
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Of the last one of the dashboard screens where I'm seeing all the Bluetooth clients that are there in my network. If I were to find out where my important devices are over Bluetooth, I can actually do it sitting here because these are the APs that shows me. So if I were to track down, let's say this Samsung or this Apple Bluetooth RFID, it tells me exactly where am I and where this device is. So I can actually track down to C10 4C60. So that's the AP. So with this, I'm gonna pause here and look for the Q&A panel if there are any questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. My name is Subodh Kaushik. I'm the regional manager for channel sales, and I look forward to seeing you in subsequent Cisco Meraki webinar sessions where we give out free access points to all our customers who join in and listening to us and spend time with us. For unmuting, I will try if I can unmute. I'm not very familiar with this interface, so let me see if I can unmute folks. So feel free to use the chat panel. I actually type here, hello. I know there are a lot of people who are putting comments onto the Q&A panel. Can we use Meraki with other products? Yes, we do support PoE capability coming in from a non-Cisco Meraki switches also. So in case if you have a non-Meraki switch, you can connect a Meraki AP onto it, or you can have a Meraki firewall, or you can have a mobile, the Cisco Meraki MDM that can be utilized as well for the functionality. So let me bring this up here and then let me answer all the questions. So the webinar ends now. Once the webinar ends, guys, you're going to have a pop-up for feedback. So please do give your feedback and let us know how we can improve. So we would really appreciate your help on giving candid feedback so that we can actually incorporate those changes. I will continue answering questions for various folks that have asked me questions on the Q&A panel. So thank you, everyone. Whoever doesn't have a question may want to drop out. Yeah, so coming back to the point, so all these 4 pillars are independent of each other, guys. If you have an MDM, mobile device management, you don't even need any of the hardware at all. So in a heterogeneous environment, we definitely work. Do you have a live demo on cloud? The demo that I did is a cloud demo, so that's exactly what I did. Okay, I'm trying to answer your question here. And then the question is, can I get the presentation slide? These presentation slides are definitely shareable. I would strongly urge send your contact details or get in touch with your partner, and we will route these presentation slides through the partner to use yourself. So this PPT is definitely shareable. And they can help, the partner even can help you with the demo, and they can connect to us, and then we can do the demo in case if there is a requirement. Meraki doesn't require internet access all the time. That's a great question. We require 1 kilobits per second for management. Once the network is configured, the management portal can go away. We never get into the path of your actual user traffic. So it is just the management traffic, and once the internet, for example, is gone, there is no connectivity to the dashboard. The last known good configuration in the box stays. You can reboot the box 100 times, the configuration will always stay, no problem there. So binary answer, does it require internet connection all the time? No, only for management, yes, but otherwise it doesn't require internet connectivity all the time. Thank you so much. Yeah, so free AP shipment at the moment in ASEAN, I kind of covered in the beginning, is possible for Thailand and Singapore, for Australia, New Zealand. For other countries, this is work in progress. We definitely will come back with the great news and good news to share with you. But all the members who have joined in from Thailand, from Singapore, as well as from Australia, etc., those guys will definitely get a free APs after the session ends. Yeah, the floor plan can be uploaded into various forms. The one I showed you where you could actually track the APs and you could see the Bluetooth RFID tag connected to, could be a wheelchair or could be to a ladder. The floor plan can be uploaded onto the dashboard. So that basically makes it more personalized. So you get to see your own network rather than looking at it on a Google map. Great question. Thank you so much. So we only support Cisco Meraki devices at the moment. We do not support non-Meraki devices. So we cannot manage those devices. We cannot put policies onto those devices. The policies are only, we can only manage the devices which are Cisco Meraki devices. So non-Cisco Meraki devices, unfortunately, we cannot manage the policies onto that at the moment. So application visibility is available on all the 4 levels. Could be a switch, could be a firewall, or an access point. Yeah, we do that. We support on all the devices. I hear a few folks saying sound not coming. I'm not sure where you guys lost me. So I'm actually using a telephone line. So is wireless shaping and rules available on all the Meraki devices? That's correct. So the traffic shaping is possible at either AP, all the way at AP level, and the traffic shaping and the QoS is definitely possible onto the firewall. So that's the native functionality. Yep, that's a cool question again. Thank you so much. Cisco Meraki devices do not operate or do not go wireless LAN controller. So this is a cloud controller solution. So we do not connect to a Cisco wireless LAN controller. Thanks for the question. And vice versa, the Cisco APs do not connect to the cloud managed Meraki dashboard also. So they are mutually, they are different networks. That was really great information. Thank you so much. Can we use these devices without the cloud license? Now, for management of Cisco Meraki devices, you definitely require cloud access, and you require a cloud license. So without the license, you will not be able to manage the devices. So you require the license. Without the license, it's not going to work. Backup and restore configuration is something which I will try to cover in subsequent session. Thank you for asking this question. It's kind of it's a very straightforward process. You can actually take the backup of all the devices onto the network, export them out, and then when you go to restore, that can be restored on. So pretty much you can clone a switch. If you are having 10 switches in your network, you don't have to configure it 10 times. You configure once, and you can start cloning that switch the remaining 9 times. So fantastic question. Fantastic question. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There are a lot of thank yous. What is the warranty? So Cisco Meraki devices, as I said, all the indoor devices comes with lifetime warranty. The outdoor one comes with one year license. How to register? The question is not very clear. I'm not sure what do you exactly mean when you say how to register. The dashboard.cisco.com is where you can actually go to. Let me just check. Instead of giving a wrong answer, I think it's dashboard.meraki.com. So yeah, dashboard.meraki.com. My apologies. Yeah, so dashboard.meraki.com is where you can go and you can actually register and create an ID for yourself. Let me go back to questions again. Q&A panel. Okay. Will the device continue to work when the internet connectivity is down, for sure, 100% yes, there is no dependency on to the internet for the device to function or for the device to forward the traffic. Is Meraki server located in Singapore? The Meraki server is located in the cloud. It's not country specific. There are no issues whatsoever from data sovereignty standpoint. If you go to meraki.cisco.com/trust, you can actually see, meraki.cisco.com/trust. You get to see all the information here. There is no traffic that is touched by us, so it is perfectly fine. End user privacy, yeah. So this is something which you can read. We even pay hackers and we pay McAfee to do a penetration testing onto our website. So you can actually get all the information here. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have the server or the Meraki hosting happening in Singapore or Thailand. So good question there. Any plans to make it compatible with other brands? Not in near future that I know of. Cisco Meraki devices manage the Meraki devices only, so we do not have plans at the moment to to manage the other devices and why. Mobile device manager, I would love, gentlemen, over on the mobile device manager, the MDM piece is pretty straight. Strongly, instead of me doing the demo, it's absolutely free for up to 100 users. So what you can do is you can go to meraki.cisco.com/SM. So if you go to SM, okay, not this one, meraki.cisco.com/SM. So when you do SM, it's going to bring up the security manager and then you can get started. So maybe in the subsequent session, we'll get into more details around MDM. For switches and Meraki AP, can it be implemented with Cisco switch? Yeah, Cisco switches have different administration, and Meraki administration is cloud managed. So these are different management. We do not have a common management. So I think there are a lot of questions. People are pretty excited and have asked me a lot of questions. So what I'll do is let me consolidate all these questions. I have email addresses for most of you guys. I will try to respond to these questions, and the email addresses that you have given, I'll send the answers there. Thanks for a very interactive session. I'm sorry, I should have actually got one more colleague of mine to help answer parallelly while I was doing the presentation. So my screen did not show up the questions. So with this, I will end the session here. It's been a long time. Thank you so much for staying all the way till end. Look forward to catching up with you when I'm traveling to your regions, your countries. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Tell Meraki.